YB do slap some of them. But it's the simple fact that he the boss, so it's like, nigga, can I touch him? Like, don't matter if you won't touch him. I ain't gonna let you touch him. Nobody around gonna let, none of the real members gonna let you even touch him. So it's like, they go get their ass slapped. Or whatever will happen, Ain't nobody gonna touch him.
NBA Youngboy was caught on camera slapping his own friends. It's not just rumors either. When DJ Academics arrived at YB's home, he attested to have witnessed Youngboy yelling, putting hands on his crew, and no one was willing to defend themselves. Considering that, when young you don't bite the hand of a boy who is the father of his crew, provider, and power. He looks out for your entire family. The first thing you notice when you enter NBA Youngboy's world is how much power he has over everyone. It goes beyond fame and music. It's about getting by. Because of him, all of his friends eat. He provides for everyone on the crew, ensuring that bills are paid, mothers are taken care of, and no one is having difficulties. That appears to be loyalty at first glance. However, upon closer examination, it's actually because even if a man exceeds the boundary, you won't move against him if your entire existence depends on him. For this reason, fans were astonished by the scenario that DJ Academics detailed. But those closest to Y weren't. AK is among the only people Youngboy truly trusts enough to come to his place are media guys. And when he related the tale, he validated the rumors that had been circulating for years. It's true that Youngboy loses it on his own gang. AK claimed to have directly witnessed Y screaming at his friends, touching them, and mistreating them. Like a severe parent disciplining their children. The most absurd thing is that no one retaliated. They simply accepted it while standing there. That's the negative aspect of Youngboy serving as the provider. His friends are aware that they cannot bite the hand that provides for them. Should your entire family may return to poverty tomorrow if YB decides he's done with you, he is untouchable within his own group because of that kind of leverage. It's evident in the conversations of those who are close to him. Respect and a hint of dread are always present, as if they are aware that he might turn on them at any moment. It seems crazy from the outside. Why would anyone let another man to speak to them in such a manner, let alone touch them? However, the answer becomes evident when that man is the reason. You and your children have a place to live. It's more than friendship with Y. It's reliance. And that's why he's so strong. He made himself the focal point of everyone's universe. Additionally, leaving his circle could end up costing more than staying. The tale of Lil Dump. Youngboy's right-hand guy is a prime example of the extent of his influence. Dump is more than simply a chance acquaintance. He has been there from the beginning, remaining close during the ascent, BIFs, as well as the numerous lawsuits pertaining to YBF. He appears to outsiders to be just another camaraderie member. In actuality though, Dump's relationship with Youngboy demonstrates the extent of loyalty, even in cases where that allegiance seems more akin to subjugation. A photo of Lil Dump with blood streaming down his lip and his mouth busted once appeared online. Fans started speculating right away, blaming YB for the incident. To be honest, when you compare that image with the narratives from scholars, and it makes too much sense for other insiders. Youngboy has a reputation for snapping at his people. Additionally, because Dump is one of his closest friends, he has frequently been the victim. However, Dump remained silent and stood next to YB as if nothing had happened, refusing to retaliate or even discuss it. Occurred that quiet said a lot. It provided supporters with all the information they required to understand how that camp actually operates. YB is more than simply a boss. For some of these guys, he functions as a father figure, and Dump himself attested to that in one video that became popular. He referred to Youngboy as his father. It wasn't a joke, it wasn't trolling, it was just respect, the type that results from growing up under someone's care. Youngboy is more than just a successful rapper. When no one else did, he was the one who provided him with food, shelter, and a job. Outsiders frequently overlook that aspect. For allowing another man to touch him, it's simple to make fun of him or label him as weak. However, you have a different perspective on YB once he takes you in, transforms your entire life, and puts you on after you were raised in poverty in Baton Rouge. Dump believes that the small boy helped him get out of the trenches. Thus, that commitment remains unwavering even if YB goes too far. Y is aware of this. Because of this, he can reprimand his friends in the same manner that a father would a child and still maintain their respect. In a sense, Dump's tale illustrates the Youngboy circle's distorted equilibrium. Love and brotherhood exist, but there's also fear and, out of respect, Dump might be prepared to address him as daddy. However, that word also sums up the dynamic quite well. Youngboy provides, guards, and disciplines. Additionally, for someone who came up beneath him, like Lil Dump, the two cannot be distinguished from one another. Bipolar behavior and mental health. NBA Youngboy differs from most rappers in that he is publicly unstable. When it comes to other musicians, the mayhem is mostly just a show for the cameras. However, it feels genuine with Youngboy. He has acknowledged that his mood swings, sporadic outbursts, and abrupt disappearances are all a part of who he is. YB has discussed receiving a bipolar diagnosis. and many of his acts start to make sense once you realize that. For years, fans have been keeping track of it. At one point, Y will be playing live with his children while discussing his desire for peace and putting the controversy behind him. Then, without warning, he would flip, yelling, hurling objects, and threatening to crash out on anyone who happens to cross him. His treatment of those around him exhibits the same trend. His friends serve as his emotional punching bags in addition to being his friends. They are the ones closest to him. Thus, they are the first to experience his bipolar episodes. And the problem is, they are not really able to defend themselves. Keep in mind that the breadwinner is Youngboy. He is the one that keeps their families stable, puts food on their tables, and pays expenses that they would never be able to pay without him. They run the risk of losing if they try to stop him or fight back. Everything. They just sit there and accept it. This kind of loyalty is risky, not only because it puts them in danger, but also because it increases WB's power. No matter how badly he explodes, he knows that no one would abandon him, which makes the cycle even more difficult to take a break. Nobody did a better job of explaining this than DJ Academics. Ake compared the experience of visiting Y at his home to witnessing a storm. One moment of calm, the next of complete mayhem. He said that Y was treating his friends like tiny children who needed to be disciplined, speaking up and even touching them when he felt mistreated. However, hours later, the same YB would be making jokes, laughing, and expressing love to the same individuals he had just touched. His crew is unbalanced due to the bipolar cycle of alternating feelings of love and rage. The most terrifying aspect is how commonplace it has gotten within his social circle. Outsiders perceive it as abuse, but to them, it's just YB being YB. They've figured out how to adjust to it, like being cautious around someone who might lose it at any time. And they remind themselves of the positive aspects when he does. The times he throws them a chain, breaks bread, ensures their mother's rent is paid, or records them. It seems as though he destroys them, then uses gifts and gestures to rebuild them, locking them even farther into his orbit. Walking away from that kind of connection is nearly hard. YB is more than just a boss to folks like Lil Dump. He's family, and you tolerate your shortcomings, no matter how severe they get, since your family is also your provider, your defender, and the only person you truly trust. Even though it appears to be control, you persuade yourself that it's love. Dump might therefore call YB his father while sitting there with a broken lip. For him, that WASN single quotes TV ULNER ability. That was fidelity. Inter. 7. But don't misunderstand, this isn't your typical buddy. Dependency, bipolar mood swings, and the kind of terror that most people wouldn't publicly acknowledge are the foundations of this bond. Everyone in YB's immediate vicinity is impacted by his mental health problems. His group is more than just riding with a celebrity. They are surviving in the face of an impending storm. Additionally, the cycle will continue as long as Youngboy has the money and authority. Respect versus fear. One of the most important concerns regarding NBA Youngboy and his group are they merely afraid of him, or do they truly respect him? You would think it's all love at first glance. He is constantly surrounded by his friends, who ride in his automobiles, represent him, and even stand up for him online. However, when you look closer, the devotion doesn't always seem organic. It appears forced, almost like a means of survival. Consider Lil Dump. He wasn't content to simply refer to Youngboy as his father. Additionally, he dismissed circumstances that would have caused most men to leave. The rumors that YB touched him and the busted lip didn't break character. He remained obedient, silent, and prepared to relocate at YB's request. That's submission, not simply respect. It also begs the question of whether someone will stand by you even if you embarrass them. Do they love you, or are they afraid of what might happen if they don't? Youngboy's crew relationship is more akin to a strict household than a rap entourage. He is the parent, they are the children. He establishes rules, and he is quick to correct anyone who disobeys them. After arriving at YB's home, Academics personally verified it. He claimed that the small youngster was snapping at his own people, closely examining them, and even touching them, and they remained mute rather than retaliating. It was like watching a parent reprimand his children. Fans were left wondering if that was genuine leadership or just plain fear. Now, fear and respect often appear to be the same from the outside. Both will maintain people's loyalty. Both will maintain order. However, it all boils down to personal preference. Respect is the decision to follow someone because you have faith in them. Fear makes you follow because you're afraid of what will happen if you don't. It's also difficult to deny that fear plays a significant part in the way YB's group moves. Take a look at how Youngboy handles insiders versus outsiders. He won't hesitate to vent his frustrations online, strike out at prominent members of the industry, and snap at supporters in public. His friends exhibit the same intensity. His crew's inability to react in the same manner as outsiders is the only distinction. A fan may leave, a rapper may clap back, but those in his close circle are stuck. Their families, their finances, and their safety are all dependent on Youngboy. so their only choice when he loses everything is to accept it and move on. However, this is when things become complicated. Many of these guys are true fans of YB. He was a part of their childhood. They witnessed him rise from obscurity to become one of the world's most popular performers. He is more than just a provider to them. He is a living example of how you may succeed. The respect component enters the picture at this point. They still regard him as someone they should support, despite the punishment, the shouting, or the violence. It's not just fear, it's a perverse combination of reverence for his accomplishments, dread of losing him, and reliance on his services. YB's circle is held together by that equilibrium. He is erratic and even brutal, but he also has a strong sense of loyalty to his people. He could one night make you look foolish, and the next, give you a chain. If you cross the line, he might slap you and then immediately put you in a music video. And that cycle makes it difficult to distinguish between fear and respect. In actuality, Youngboy's gang most likely adheres to him for both reasons. They fear his fury, his mood swings, and the prospect of being cut off. But they also respect his grind, his music, and his position in their lives. He is among the most influential people in rap thanks to this combo. Not only because of his skill, but also because of the manner he inspires complete loyalty in those around him. Why take on the role of a cult leader? From the outside, NBA Youngboy's circle makes it clear why he's referred to as more than simply a rapper. To some Heffiels, like the leader of a cult, fans are not the only ones who claim that the connection is striking because of the way his friends interact with him, how they take in his rage, and how they like everything he says. Consider it. In a typical rap group, friendship is the foundation of loyalty. Cash or connections to gangs. It's deeper in Youngboy's world, though his friends revolve around him rather than just following him. He is the one who provides, enforces discipline, and establishes the guidelines for everyone else. When he discloses, they fall into line after being told to do so. They accept it when he loses it. They also act as though everything else is nullified when he displays affection. Regular loyalty isn't like that. Devotion is that. His fanbase exhibits the same enthusiasm. One of the most intense hip-hop fan bases is that of Youngboy. His fans defend him online like warriors in an army. In addition to listening to his songs, every time WB's name is mentioned in a dramatic situation, his supporters swarm the comments section, prepared to defend him. His squad actually moves in precisely the same manner, always willing to ride, even when it doesn't make sense, always willing to take a hit for him. The similarity to a cult leader is strengthened by YB's isolation. Following his legal issues, he has been residing in Utah, is isolated from the majority of the industry. His life was not just altered by the seclusion, his circle was altered. It made his friends even more reliant on him. The world Y created is all you know when you're stranded in the midst of nowhere. Because of this, he is the focal point of everything. Their money, their lifestyle, their identity. Cult leaders employ the same playbook: keep them isolated from the outer world, make them reliant on you before using a combination of terror and affection to control them. Youngboy may not have done it on purpose, but the outcome is the same. His friends would rather remain in a poisonous cycle with him than take the chance of leaving it. Because of this, videos such as Lil Dump referring to him as daddy sound more like adulation than devotion. Descardo's not considered YB to be merely a friend or rapper. He believes that he is the man who gave him life, brought him up from nothing, and built the world in which he currently resides. That's devotion on a spiritual level. Ultimately, labeling YB as a cult leader could sound excessive, but the title doesn't seem all that far off when you consider how his friends surrendered to him, how his admirers blindly support him, and how his entire world revolves around his decisions and emotions. Youngboy is more than just a provider and an artist. He is the focal point of a movement in which everyone in his immediate vicinity beats his regulations, regardless of the price. The larger image, ultimately, the NBA Youngboy story involves more than just a musician abusing his friends. It has to do with control, power, and how relationships may be distorted by celebrity. The majority of artists surround themselves with yes-keys, but it goes deeper with YB. Not only do others in his circle agree with him, but they also submit to him. They don't even seem to mind, which is absurd. This is where the risk arises, because it starts a vicious circle when one man has so much power and everyone around him is afraid to challenge him. That only gets worse. Every public meltdown, tantrum, and slap is justified rather than checked. Additionally, Youngboy's popularity and wealth just serve to fuel his friends' need for him, so they put up with whatever comes with it. However, if history demonstrates any, it's that circumstances such as these are someone eventually loses it. One of his own decides that enough is enough, or YB pushes too far. There is a limit to how far loyalty can go before breaking, and when it occurs, you witness treachery, repercussions, or worse. There is more to this than just one battle or a single clip. It concerns the consequences of loyalty turning into dependency, and dependency turning into idolatry. Youngboy created a world in which he is in charge of everyone. However, the world he governs could just as easily fall apart from inside. How long can Youngboy sustain this cult-like devotion until the walls collapse is the true question. Until the walls collapse is the true question.